Hello, welcome to my predictions for the 2021s. I will keep it brief. 2021 psychic predictions. Here we go. Let me give you a true psychic. If you're true psychic, you have to close your eyes for a second. Give me a second. Oh, predictions 2021. Well, I think the year of 2021, from a predictive basis, is more pleasant than 2020 overall. The forecast looks good for the decade, I say, because the human race has all had their clocks ticked over to 2020 for a year, right? Now, for most people who've watched any kind of mainstream culture, they know that the 2020 is a symbol for us being in the future compared to where we were before, right? So eventually, we're all cottoning on to the fact that the millennium passed 20 years ago. So a lot of people who were the kings of that millennium and queens have all popped off in terms of celebrities. There's a whole new culture. There's a whole wave of strange Nazi underpinnings being lit up by various such and such police activities in the background, and this virus thing that we've heard about. And my predictions is that it's going to improve. Basically, I mean that the forecast for the decade will be upward movement for people fulfilling their personal and group desires, and that's anyone. So everyone's going to have a good decade, I think. Whatever phase of life you're in, the 2020s are going to be a boom decade for positivity and new blessings overall, I think, because I've done a lot of personal research into how the cycles of nature work. When I was living in the woods, I was privy to watching the cycles of nature happening in first hand, and spending time in a tent listening to the birds, how they wake you up, how nature rises and falls, well, and the rhythm of like the growth around me when certain leaves fall off the trees and certain other plants grow, the summer, how it ends quickly, and the winter, how it can be dark, and so forth. Um, well, that led me to basically figure out. Sorry, I just got a message through on the phone there, a pleasant message, as I'm doing a prediction for pleasant futures. I'm being moved house from where I am in Slough to Hounslow, which is somewhat towards where I want to be in London. Hounslow is in London Borough, and I used to go there to write books and stuff. I've just got some good news on the video. Good news. Yeah, predictions. Things will be going well this year and the next year, especially when the 2022 kicks in. All the even numbers I feel in this decade are going to be great. The odd numbers are going to be sort of still good, but sort of like they're your choice points, and the years to come you're going to get your evens and your odds. And during the decade of 2020s, because you've got two twos in there and a zero space to be filled, right, it's going to take a while for the 2100s to kick in. Yeah, so we've all got some time on our hands. People know that we're going to be living longer in this decade, whether we like it or not, and there has been a significant decrease in population due to certain recent circumstances that we'll not go into anymore, otherwise I'll be banned off YouTube. But yeah, and my prediction is that basically, unfortunately, the crisis has brought a new era in, and it's going to be about getting used to being in a sort of future realm compared to where we were, for example, in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s and the 2000s, even in the 2010s. It's a very different decade, and because it's different, it means it's a new opportunity for us to redefine time, if you like, for a while. Redefine how we want to live, in accordance with this new idea of 2020s as a decade concept. And then you've got to think, well, there's going to be another decade after that called the 2030s, then the 2040s, 2050s. How long do you want to live is a question I think we should be asking, because this future has a lot of medical advancements, considering we've just had a massive crisis on the medical level. A lot of new technology has been developed, so we're going to be living even longer now. All the work they've been doing in the background to improve the NHS is going to be very good for people who are not suffering from that pandemic as well. I think in the next decades, our healthcare systems are going to be so vastly superior to what they were before. I don't think we shall fear death for a long time. We can expect to live to 100 years old, everyone, probably. And the situations I've seen regarding homelessness crisis is that during this epidemic, the homeless have been actually upgraded in life because they're trying to keep people safe. And people who were previously homeless, I have seen in through 2, 3 different towns already, 4 maybe, 4 different towns. They homed the homeless. I've got to go anyway. Bye.